All right, welcome to our initial game of Reformed Model Citizens, a game based on the 80s TSR Marvel Classic system. This won't be based in the typical Marvel universe, although it might be in the Marvel multiverse. And I will now set the scene. You wake up in a dim room, a cell. You are lying on a cot. Blue light trickles through thick bars, and concrete walls surround you on all sides. From somewhere nearby, music is playing through tinny speakers. When you sit up, the world spins and your head throbs. You struggle not to vomit. Faint moaning and movement can be heard from somewhere nearby. When you try to remember where you are, who you are, how you got here, the memories slide away as slippery as a dream. An initial glance around the room, which is barely 9 by feet. See a toilet, a small sink with a mirror, desk attached to a wall with heavy screws. There's some shelves behind you, and they seem to hold an assortment of small items. Above the desk is a poster or notice of some kind, words in bold stenciled lettering. And that's where we begin. And I'm going to have you all wake up at a slightly staggered rate. And we'll start with Rogue. You can be the first person to wake up. And I'll give you a couple of minutes to tell me what you would be doing as you wake up.
So Bloodhound sits up and rubbing his head, rubbing his hands in his face, and kind of shaky and already starting to feel a little bit of the pain from the withdrawals. Already his body's aching. Yeah, and he has no idea how he's going to stop this pain from happening. But he's going to have to figure it out just like every day. Every day is the same thing, trying to figure out how to stop the pain from making life a living hell. So he gets up and looks around his surroundings, goes over to the sink and tries the running water, sees if anything comes out of the tap when he turns it.
The sink turns on, and slightly cloudy water comes from it at a kind of low pressure. The sink itself looks pretty old, and the water doesn't look terribly appealing.
Oh, damn it. Of course. He mutters and takes some of the water, runs it through his hair, looks at his eyes inside the mirror, and he turns around. Are there bars across from me with another person in it?
The bars seem to look out on a hallway. And with that, I'm going to switch over to Phantasma.
The blonde wakes up from her sleep, moaning in pain, gripping her head. She sits up from where she was laying, looking around, confused. She looks down at her hands, feeling the skin beneath them. She rises slowly, looking around the room. She pinches the bridge of her nose, trying to remember exactly why she was here, where she was, who she was. thought of not being able to grasp it is terrifying in its own sense. She moves to the mirror, looking at it.
When you look in the mirror, you see a familiar yet unfamiliar face. Something about it strikes you as not right. Even though you know that you're a blonde and this is your face, it also feels like it's not. You notice that you're wearing a jumpsuit.
She makes movements in the mirror, trying to register that this is her. Looks at her hand, looks at the hand in the mirror, turns it from front to back, sees the mirror's doing the same movements.
You catch a quick glimpse of writing on the back of your jumpsuit as you're moving around, trying to catch different angles of yourself. But you can't read it, it's on your back.
She'll again regard the mirror in the front, touching her face a bit, looking at her slightly off-color eyes, one being fully colored, the other one being hazy and white. Runs her hand over her cheek before turning away from the mirror, a bit disgusted, a bit scared. She walks over to the door, looking out.
You start to hear some movement from some of the, what you might assume are similar rooms or cells nearby. And Emma, you wake up in a similar state. What would be some of the first thoughts that go through your mind, some of the first things you would do?
She sits up slowly on the bed, resting her head in her hands as the headache and the dizziness settles. She can feel her clothes are sticky with sweat, and as she looks around this small room, there's nothing but confusion. She doesn't know why she's here. Better yet, she doesn't know anything. She looks across from her, seeing this small poster above a desk, a model citizen. I can't read what the rest of that says, but do you want to help me out?
Sure. You look at the poster, so I'm going to share that. Everybody see that?
I do not.
No, I don't see that.
You press show all players.
Yeah, negative.
I see it
There we go.
There it is.
All right, just took a minute. So as you look at the poster, well, it's actually more like a bit of metal, thin metal, thin sheet of metal, and it's attached to the concrete wall with bolts. And it reads, "A model citizen," with some lettering in black and some in red. "A model citizen protects the weak, seeks betterment, is a beacon of hope, combats injustice, seeks no reward." All that seems maybe a bit cheesy. Then you get to the red parts and it says, "Harms only in self-defense, kills only as a last resort." Something about that seems a bit troubling.
She stares at it for a moment before wiping her face off with her hand. She slowly tries to stand from her bed using the desk as support, her legs shaking underneath her as she does. She moves towards the door, looking out towards this hallway and these other cells across from her that are in her vision.
In your vision, there actually aren't any cells. In the periphery of your vision, you can kind of make out that you're part of a long wall of similar cells. But ahead of you, you see a concrete wall, and a bit higher up, some barred windows, letting in some dim light from the outside. And from there, I'm going to move over to Sim. Sim, before you start, I'm going to let you know that as you sit up, you notice something a little different from the others. Your cot is lower to the ground. As a matter of fact, your mattress sits directly on the ground. Your room seems really beat up. There's cracks in the floors and the wall. You can actually see broken bits of your cot kind of set aside against the wall near the desk.
Alright. So as Brick opens his eyes, he looks around. Oh, the fuck. He's gonna rub his eyes real quick just to be sure he's awake. Oh. And then he realizes he's almost on the floor. So he kind of rolls out onto the cold tile, rejoicing how cool it feels. Oh, gets up, looks over at the sign on the wall, stares at it. It's a little fuzzy. Turns and looks and sees a sink, and a great urge comes to him. And he goes to the sink and just starts coughing and hacking. Turning on the water, putting his whole head under the faucet. Oh, feels so good. He's gonna sit up and look at the mirror.
As you look in the mirror, you see a face that looks familiar. You know that's your face. You reach for your name and you can't quite come up with it. But you see you're wearing a jumpsuit and that there's some kind of writing on the back. Go ahead.
Oh, the hell. He's gonna turn around with his back towards the mirror, try to make out what it says.
It's too hard to read, twisting around. You can't get a good enough look in the mirror. You need a second mirror in front of you or someone else to read it. So from there, I'm just going to let you guys kind of take it, what you start doing and saying and interacting. You are all close enough that the sounds you hear are going to be the notes from each other.
My character, as she's looking out and seeing what's around her and getting a grasp of not where she is, but kind of the predicament she's in, she kicks her door, a loud sound echoing throughout the hallway. Hey! Where the fuck am I? Let me out of here!
You all hear that. I'd like you to click on your token and then make a stat strength.
Stat, strength, typical.
Yep. Oh, nice. As you kick the door in your anger, you get it a little harder than you think, and it jostles loose, and it starts to slide open.
Okay. She looks at it confused. She definitely wasn't expecting to break it. She was just trying to get someone's attention to explain what the fuck was going on. But
Okay.
now,
I want you.
oh, go for it.
You finish, and then I'll tell you what to roll.
Now that it's kind of not ajar, but it's loose, she's gonna try to push it open the rest of the way.
It opens. The bars look really old, and the mechanism to the slide mechanism seems creaky, but it opens. And I want you to roll a stat reason check as you're doing. Okay. So the best you can tell is maybe this door wasn't locked.
She looks back at it a little bit confused, even more confused than she was before. Now that she's out in the hallway, she looks around, looking at these other cells as she's hearing rustling and movement in them.
Hey. You see a character's, my head sticking at the edge of the bars, looking kind of sweaty and drained. Dark hair, dark eyes, a little scar on the face, and kind of slender. Hey, you think you could do that to my door here? And he smiles. Definitely seeming drained and tired. What the hell is going on? What are we doing here? Who are you?
I thought that you would know. I don't remember. I don't remember. Who are you? Why are we here?
I don't know how we got here. Out of character, I do know my name though? Things like that.
You don't know your name, not your real name. Some of you might have a sense of what feels familiar. As you're looking at the woman outside the cells, she looks familiar, and a name starts to float to the surface. And as she kind of turns a little, you can see writing on the back, and it kind of fills out the rest of the way. And you know that she is called Ditto.
And he kind of repeats it out loud as he reads it. Ditto.
And Emma, that immediately feels familiar.
Ditto. She turns back towards you. What's Ditto? Am I Ditto?
It says that on the back of your jacket there.
She kind of touches her jumpsuit with one of her arms, kind of trying to pull at it a little to see the back, but realizing that she can't. She looks confused, but after a moment is going to walk towards your door and is going to try to open it and try to get you out.
The door sticks a little bit, but it swings open.
I don't think it was locked.
That makes sense. What's it say on the back of my jacket? He turns around.
When
What
he
does it
turns
say?
around, it says Bloodhound N.A.E.A in stenciled lettering D block.
It says Bloodhound. And then there's written it's N.D. Can you type it out for me?
I'll type it out for you.
Thanks.
There's a hand that kind of peeks out of another cell, waving a bit. If you two are done with the pleasantries, I would also require assistance, please.
Do you know what's going on? Do you know why we're here?
No. No. I do not.
Do you know
Do
your
you
name?
mind? No. Can you assist?
Yeah. I don't think it's locked. Help me from your side. Help me push this open. And
Okay.
she's gonna work with this girl to try to get this door open as well.
She'll push on the door and see if it works.
Together, you guys pull at it, and it takes a little bit of shoving from one side and pulling from the other side, but eventually it slides open with a creak.
She'll enter the hallway, wipe off her brow, look to the other woman. Do you mind? She'll turn around, parting her blonde hair.
And does it say Phantasma on the back?
Right? It says Phantasma, N.A.E.A.D.
Phantasma. Does that sound familiar?
Does it sound familiar? Slip?
Yeah, not really.
No, it does not.
What the fuck? It also says N.A.E.A.D block. Does that mean anything to you? Do you know what that means?
It doesn't.
Unfortunately, no, it does not mean anything to me at this point. She'll look down the hallway at the other gentleman.
Bloodhound is going to pick up that fedora he sees on the desk and put it on, just feeling the familiarness of it and kind of tilting it a little bit towards the front like he knows that he normally does, and slides his finger across the rim and kind of licks his lips and looks towards the rest. Anybody got any pills?
Phantasmal pat herself down, trying to check. I do not think so. And you see she's got these slightly discolored eyes. One being, let's get a look at the actual picture itself. One being blue, the other one being very kind of a hazy, almost a yellow. And she got kind of these cracks down one side of her face. She regards both of you. I think I heard someone else.
Where?
Further down.
Is
She
anyone
moves
else
forward.
here? She calls down the hallway.
Brick, as he's still staring at the mirror, hears someone yell, "Yeah, I'm down here." Still staring at the mirror, trying to see what's on the back of his shirt.
Phantasmal will jog over a bit, going to his door. Hey.
Hey.
Do you know what is going on?
Well, I wish I did. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what it says on my shirt.
Let me see.
And Brick will turn so the back's facing Phantasm.
As you might have predicted, it says brick, N.A.E.A.D block.
Brick. That is your designation, apparently.
Oh. Brick, huh? And he looks
Yeah.
around. Must be has something to do with all these cracks and stuff in my stuff. Was yours better than this? He
Uh,
starts walking towards the door.
it is Phantasma, apparently.
Oh, Phantasma. Oh, Phantasma, how did you get out of here?
I got assistance from. She'll turn her head to look down the hallway. Think it was Ditto.
Oh, there's more.
Yes, there's two others out here. Let me assist. Please push while I
Here,
pull.
you pull. I'm just gonna push and give it a kick.
Oh, I do not wish you to kick the door while I pull it.
Okay, I'll just push.
Thank you. Phantasmal pull.
And Brick is gonna go ahead and give it a good shove.
Brick, you grab a bar and push on it, and it slams into the door. As a matter of fact, Phantasma, you kind of jerk your hands back because it's opening a little faster than you expect.
She'll kind of stumble back a bit, let go of the door.
Oh, I wonder what the use of a door is if it just opens like this. Was yours this easy?
No, it required some, two of us to open it. Please, join us.
Ah, and Brick would pet his hand out, shake. Well, it's nice to meet you, I think.
And she'll take a moment regarding his hand before meeting it with hers, shaking it. Nice to meet you as well, Brick.
Ah, then he looks down at the other two. You know those two? I mean, I know you said the one helped you.
I only know them just now. I do not have memories previous to this.
Weird, ain't it?
It is.
Brick, can you roll a reason?
A reason.
It'll say stat reason.
I don't think we're golfing.
Everyone's head is still somewhat reeling. Doesn't feel like waking from a natural sleep. Everyone, please roll another reason check. This is for something. Okay. Rogue is the Bloodhound is the first person to notice the blue light filtering in through your cells is coming from just a few scattered lights, but there appear to be a lot of other lights with possibly normal colored bulbs. They don't appear to have a blue tint that are off.
Bloodhound comes, he finds something, well, present he saved for himself when he's looking through his hat. And he throws a pill in his mouth and chews it up and puts it back in his hiding spot, throwing his hat back on his head, pulling it down. Okay, okay. And he walks towards everyone else and nods to them. And, well, I guess it's time to figure out what's going on here, huh? Why'd we get brought together? What's up with those lights there? And he points them out to everybody, and starts to get a little bit more focused and less sweaty. He's like, anybody else's head hurt?
Mm,
Oh,
indeed.
Like a
It,
bitch.
exactly.
yeah, it's like nothing I felt before. Brick rubs his head.
Maybe if we leave here, we can find more information. Maybe there is someone we can find.
Yeah, that's a swell idea.
As. Oh,
I'm sorry.
as Ditto's kind of been searching the other cells, she sees a few with some other forms or people kind of laying in the beds. She's gonna bang on their cell doors. Hey, hey! You alright over there?
You see about 4 other forms as you walk from cell to cell. And though you call out, they remain very still.
Can I try to open their doors?
Sure. The first one you try sticks a little bit, but you are expecting that by now, and after a bit of yanking, slides open.
Walking inside, looking at the person in there. What do I see? Are
You
they
s-
just sleeping?
You see the rise and fall of very deep, slow breathing. This is a female. She's got almost a mohawk. She looks to be some sort of mixed race. She's curled up on her side, and on the back of her jumpsuit, you see Sway, SWAY, N.A.E.A, D block.
She tries to shake Sway awake. Hey, hey, wake up!
And you shake her with increasing force, but nothing seems to affect her. She just continues to sleep.
Some kind of induced coma or something. Maybe we were all meant to wake up at the same time.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Let's go find out what administration has to say about this.
Let's open these other doors first.
What's up with the lights? What's going on with the lights? 1, 2. He starts pointing out the blue lights.
They're just light, are they not?
How many lights are there?
You can see maybe 3 blue lights, but you see along the wall like 12 other lights that aren't lit.
That is odd. You figured they would all be lit.
How close are they to the ground? Are they within reach?
The lights.
Yeah.
You guys can all see the new image, right? Yes.
The hallway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see the barred windows where those lights are there. Those aren't lit, but near some of those lights are an additional blue light.
And there's a door down at the end of the hallway?
The hallway on one end has a doorway, and the other end of the hallway as well has a door.
Bloodhound will start to move towards one of the doors here. Kind of.
Roll 1d2. Actually, are you going to roll, assuming you're coming out of the cells, are you going left or right?
We'll go right.
Maybe we should
Okay.
stick together. Ditto.
Yeah, she comes out of the last cell with another person. They're not waking up.
Maybe someone knows what is going on here. Someone knows exactly who we are, why we're here.
As you walk toward the doorway, you get closer and you see that it's covered with a bar. It's the entry there is barred. You can see that there is another sliding steel door that is open beyond these bars, but these vertical bars still block the way out. There is an obvious, it looks pretty old, and there's an obvious lock and a keyhole in it. And I want Bloodhound to roll power. Oh, nice. Phantasma, as you get closer, you hear a sputtering hiss.
Where is it coming from?
It seems to be coming from somewhere near the doorway.
She'll look at Bloodhound. Do you hear that? She'll make tentative steps towards him.
You don't hear it.
No. What is it?
It sounds like a hissing. She'll keep approaching carefully, seeing if the noise increases as she approaches.
It does. It gets a little louder. I want you to roll your power.
I'm gonna find that. He starts to like wiggle his fingers, rubbing them against his thumbs like nervously, and trying to find that.
Sorry,
You
what's power
smell metal. There's just a button that says power.
I've got to be blind.
It's right in the center, or it should be. Let me take a look at your stat block.
Popularity.
Shoot. Maybe I didn't include your power button on that. Let me correct.
Aha! You don't have any powers.
No. Spoilers.
Go without power.
She doesn't need powers.
No.
Power excellent, right?
Yeah, hold on.
Whatever it
I probably
That's
just
okay.
didn't add it to the stat block. Hold on.
Probably not checked off.
Right.
Maybe I'll look in.
You have no power here.
Oh,
Yeah, I
checked
just
off
didn't have
myself.
it checked. I got it.
Yeah.
Phantasm of the Grey.
Pow.
Okay, beautiful. Ghost, I'm going to put your token on here so you can. Do you have sight? Probably.
We'll find out. I can't see myself yet.
Well, can you see the scene?
Yes, I can see the scene.
Okay. I'm going to whisper to you, Fantastic.
Okay.
Clickety pop, clickety pop.
Oh, she'll kind of speed up her gait towards the door. She'll look down at the locking mechanism.
There's a key here somewhere.
Maybe.
No, I can smell it.
Bloodhound, you eventually track that smell down to one of the rooms that has one of the sleepers in it. This one is a male, and his jumpsuit says pocket on the back.
Mm. Bloodhound will walk in there, still doing his weird finger thing, rubbing them together in the air, like he's sniffing the air almost, and he's like, I know it's in here. Somebody, maybe our friend here has it. You hiding that thing? And he'll kind of put his hand gently on his back, try to feel in his jacket or something, pat him down, maybe under his bed.
Your hand gets you notice a warmer, colder sort of effect, where your hand is hovering over his body.
And you said over his back, where my hand is hovering over him?
It feels warmest around his hip that's facing up.
Okay, yeah. And I'll touch there.
There's a pocket there.
How can I get in there without taking his clothes off?
No, there's a pocket on the outside of the jumpsuit.
Okay. All right, I'll go into that pocket.
When you reach in the pocket, it is ice cold. It feels so weird. But as you're reaching in and thinking about the key, your hand closes over a key.
And this guy's name's pocket, like on his back?
Yep.
Like, that is weird. Strange. And he's not waking up.
No, not at all.
All right, I'll take his key, take the key out, and walk out, holding it up for the others to see. Told you I smelt the key around here somewhere.
I am unsure how you smell a key. She'll turn her attention back to the lock. Are you alright?
Yeah, here.
Not you.
Oh.
She'll look very concerned, staring at the lock. Do you need to be opened?
Now this is the what it looks to be an electronic lock on the sliding door that's already open.
Just kind of frowning. I don't know how to help you.
It just kind of continues to moan. If you were talking to a person, you'd get the sense that like they almost can't understand you, that there's something wrong with their mind.
Rick will walk up. What are you talking to?
This. She'll gesture towards a electronic lock. It's upset. I don't know what's wrong. Seems hurt.
Hurt?
Yes.
He's gonna kind of look bewildered. How do you know it's hurt?
Can you not hear that? It's crying. Bloodhound, I would maybe open the door. Maybe we can find out exactly how to leave. What's exactly going on? I'm confused.
Open the door?
She'll point to the door that he originally got the key for.
Yeah, he'll go over there towards that lock.
And the key you've got is what you would think of as an old-timey key. It's long and chunky, but this lock seems like the kind of lock that would fit an old-timey key.
He holds it up and says, "Well, where's that other lock? Wasn't there another lock around here?"
Just this one. The electronic lock she points at, the one she's in front of.
No. There's the lock on the gate, which is old, and then there's the electronic lock on the sliding steel door, which is the one that you've been here.
Yeah, he'll take it over there to the old-timey lock and try to use it on that.
You put it in, and it looks old, but it might have been oiled recently because it turns easily, and you can feel the latch give and the door loosen.
He'll swing the door open.
You swing the door open, and there's just a corner, and then around the corner, I will, if you guys head out, I'll change.
Yeah, he'll kind of peek in, standing off to the side, lean over with just his hat and his head looking down there, and then wave for everybody.
Phantasm will follow.
Yeah, Break will follow behind.
Nice job. She's gonna follow.
How do you smell a key?
Just the same way I smell everything else, I guess. How do you talk to a lock? I'll smile at her.
She looks like she's taking that more of a serious question and squints a bit. I am not sure.
You guys are fucking weirdos. Come on. She's gonna try to hurry into the hallway.
All right, just give me a quick second.
Careful, might hurt that door's feelings, he'll say to her as she hurries down the hall.
Phantasm will frown at Bloodhound. How strong is that sense of smell of yours?
I guess it's not so bad.
It's surprising since you probably have to smell yourself.
You pass a certain point and you notice there are some barred stairs going down. You notice stairs also going up. It looks like it leads to another level of cell blocks. Looking up, you can see at least 4 levels of cell blocks. Ahead of you is another gated entrance. And this one also appears to be locked mechanically. But through it, you catch some movement.
It's dark for me.
Oh, you guys can't see.
Same.
Hold on.
No.
I'll fix that. I'll just leave that off.
All right.
And I'm going to add ghosts tokens. I'll just... Sorry, I've got quite a few tokens to place.
It's okay. Good to know.
Sneak peeks.
Oh no.
Okay, Ghost, you know which one of those is you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you approach, you see movement and you hear the clicking of claws on concrete tile. You can make out some canine forms ahead. At the moment, they're separated from you by these vertical bars.
Oh, dogs.
Then Phantasmal cautiously approach, kind of hands out to the side, trying to be as, calm as possible as she approaches the bar so they don't start barking at her. This is strange.
Shit, I don't think I like dogs. Let's just keep them on that side, yeah?
What kind of person doesn't like dogs?
Yeah. Hi, puppies. Hi. She approaches.
Most of the dogs are Dobermans, and they have their ears pricked up very alertly. You see one dog kind of in the background. You wouldn't have thought this was a dog. You've never, well, you can't remember, but you can't. He seems really big and oddly shaped. Closest to the bars is a rather large German Shepherd.
Does it look friendly?
Right now, I think it looks like it's just appraising. Ghost, from here, it's whatever you.
So Alpha would walk to the bars and sit down, kind of look at the non-dogs that are approaching. And seeing the one coming closer, Phantasma would start to hear words in her head that are not hers. You smell like trust. Come closer.
Phantasmal's gonna be a bit taken aback and she'll look to the others. The dog, I think, is talking to me.
Well, why not? You could talk to Locks.
I guess, I
I
will
wouldn't
hold my tongue.
I wouldn't trust it. Be careful.
Oh, there's bars. She'll kind of get down on one knee and she'll place a hand against the bars, not through them. Hi.
Hello. I must make a correction. We are not puppies. We are adult dogs.
Oh. Alright. You can understand me, okay. I am Phantasma.
I am Alpha. This is my pack.
How did you get here, Alpha?
This has been where I have been for as long as I can remember. Many needles, many prickly things. Did not smell like trust.
If I let you out, you will be fine, yes?
And would help you as well.
Do you know the way out? Do you know of anyone else here?
A few... Time? Not good with time. Some time ago. Many people who are not white coats break in. People die. Some dogs die. One dog very important to me gone, taken, made to do bad things. I know way out, but I lack one important thing, to get out.
Well, we can assist. Give me one moment, please. Step back. She'll
Yes,
look over to
use
Brick.
thumbs.
Brick, do you mind? I think you're better at this than I am.
Are you sure?
Alpha is the name. Seems friendly.
Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Dude, would I be able to hear him say hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
you hear it clearly in your head. His mouth does not move.
And at that point, Brick's just gonna kind of glaze over and look over at Phantasma. He just talked to me.
Yes, that is also what I experienced. It is not like the lock. Different.
Oh, and are these like a bar cell door thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's
they
old and similar to the others.
Do they slide right?
It's supposed to. You don't see an actual locking mechanism. You see like a box on the wall outside the skate. Looks like it might be a mechanism related to opening the door, but it's not lit, doesn't seem functional. Still, you can try to open it.
All right, let me. Yeah, he's gonna grab both bars. Maybe it'll be easy as my door.
I want you to roll power.
All right. Jesus Christ.
Well, can you see the result of that?
Yeah, I can.
We can.
Am I supposed to?
Well, it's in yellow. I didn't know if you guys can see those or.
Nah, it's just a whisper.
Yeah, so we can't
Oh,
see it,
got
but he
it.
can. So can you.
Okay, good. You strain against the bars, and you feel something start to shift in your body, but then it kind of drains away.
This one's a little. He's still kind of pulling a little harder.
Do you require assistance?
Yeah, if you could pull on it.
Sure. I will pull as well.
I will also seek help. Caliban, please come help. And kind of look back over it.
Caliban looks at the two legs, and he lifts his lips in a snarl, and he seems reluctant, but then he pads forward, and you can tell. Now the other humans can't hear. Well, I guess they kind of can. You hear an echo of something, but Caliban asks you what you want him to do. What you want.
We use teeth and help them pull.
He reaches down and kind of grabs a bar between massive jaws, and he starts to tug the same way you guys were pulling. And now I'm going to have you just roll. Basically, you're going to get a column shift for Phantasma's help and a column shift for Caliban's help. So just hit the D100 roll button.
Okay. Where is the D100? There it is.
No. You think that maybe Caliban is pulling the wrong direction.
He's gonna kind of listen up, not tense down. Look at the dog next to him. Hey, boy, try pulling the other way.
Bloodhound is gonna look for maybe some keys in here. Something maybe the way they lock, what they use to lock this place up with.
Roll your power. And Caliban snarls at you, Brick, and says, I not take orders from.
Oh, okay. He's gonna look back. Well,
Let's try again.
all right. And he'll kind of get back and tense up, getting ready to pull. He's like, let's pull a little harder this time.
All right, let's roll power again.
All right, please give me the dark dice for tonight.
All right, there we go. That's a yellow success. Plus, you had a couple of column shifts. So, as you strain on the bars, your heels plant firmly onto the concrete tiles. Phantasma, you see veins just popping on his already pretty big biceps, but his legs also seem to get a little bit bigger. You hear a slight cracking sound, and you see that one of the tiles underneath your heel has cracked a little bit. And after a moment, you yank on the door, and Caliban gets tossed off as you pull the gate open with a loud crash, and it crashes against the wall where you are, Phantasma, startling some of the Dobermans.
My goodness, that was... Oh, she'll look down at the tile, look at the door, look back to Brick. How... I did not think we pulled that hard.
Brick is looking stunned. Is everybody okay?
I think so. She'll look over at the dogs. Are you alright?
Alpha will look back at all of them and... Yes, that one smells strong. Very good thumbs.
Well, that must be where you got your name then. You can sure bend some bars, open some doors, maybe knock down some walls.
I guess so. He's starting to move. I feel so much different.
Your legs seem to get bigger as you pulled. She'll look back to the dogs. Come. Maybe we should leave.
Yes, I know the way out. We will need to utilize your skills again.
All right. Alpha, you know that there is a marking against the wall near here that the humans often look at when they are feeling stupid and don't know which way to go.
Where's the marking?
I'll put Caliban by it.
Alright. Come look at this marking. When you are feeling dumb, this is where other non-dogs look. And then they don't feel dumb anymore.
Okay. She'll look over to Ditto. It is alright. They mean no harm.
Caliban snarls a little bit.
Doesn't really seem like it.
They have not attacked us. They might be a bit grumpy. I think we all are being trapped here. Come. She'll extend her hands to Ditto. It is fine.
She looks down at your hand and looks past you towards the dogs, seeing Caliban kind of snarling a bit at her. Okay, you guys first though. And she's gonna walk forward.
Sure thing, Ditto. And he's Brick is gonna start walking forward, but being a little bigger at the moment, he's slowly making his way. God, so weird. Hey, buddies. And he'll make his way.
Bloodhound will look over towards Blondie and kind of smile at me like, "Did you get those dogs to do that?"
They offered assistance.
What?
Yes.
He's kind of shocked now and smiles. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Come. Let us read the unstupiding sign.
I need one of those, that's for sure.
Oops.
Yes.
Wrong.
Yes, you do.
Wrong.
When you get-
That was the wrong thing, but.
Oh, wow. I'll keep the roll. Your power actually is better than that, so you get a yellow success. As you're moving forward and you're watching the dogs and feeling obviously nervous and sort of feeling like, what can I do to defend myself? What can I do to protect myself if these dogs turn against us? You feel something happen, and you catch movement to either side of yourself. And Phantasma, as you're watching Ditto move forward, you see two duplicates of her, and with an 86, they're perfect on either side. As a matter of fact, you don't know which one is her. It looks like there's 3 of her moving forward.
Phantasma will kind of freeze, backing up a bit, looking between the 3 or 2 new copies, and looking between the 3 of them. What? How? She's kind of stuttering and pointing at each one. What? How?
Ditto hadn't really noticed until you started kind of pointing. And then she looks over towards them. What the fuck? And I'm willing to bet both of them probably have the same reaction as they jump back. What the fuck?
Actually, they turn to face you, and you have this weird doubling and quadrupling of your vision for a moment. And then, even more disorienting, you feel your point of view shifting from one to the other and back to yourself. You're looking at yourself, and then you're in another position looking at the opposite wall, looking at 2 other of you, and you can tell which one feels like your own body, but you can see and hear out of each duplicate.
Shit, I feel like I'm gonna be sick.
Which one is going to be sick? She looked back at the others.
Bloodhound's smiling and pointing, and he's like, "No, that's pretty cool too."
Bloodhound, I want you to roll power. Sweet. You know exactly which ones are.
He'll Bloodhound will still be smiling and walking. That's amazing. And then he'll come and put his hand on the right one and be like, "How do you do that?"
You put your hand on her, and your hand sort of passes through the space where another one of these duplicates is, and it just passes through. I mean, you can't see your hand as it's passing through, but it doesn't feel like there's anything substantial.
And then he'll look over towards the dogs and be like, "Maybe some defense mechanism. You got nervous because of the dogs, right?"
How are you okay with this? There's 3.
I don't know that I am okay with this. I'm kind of spazzing out. My eyes are. I keep shifting perspectives.
Maybe just focus. Try.
Go ahead and roll whatever's higher of your reason or intuition. No, I'm sorry. Your psyche is what you're going to roll.
My psyche. I guess it starts.
Okay. Yeah, you start to feel like you can really control what set of eyes you're looking through. Not only that, you start to feel like after a moment, you actually feel quite a bit calmer, and you're even maybe almost getting a thrill out of the sensation of making one raise its arm, making another move forward.
Okay, I think I'm getting the handle of this.
Yeah, you actually feel quite a bit more chill than you did a couple minutes ago. Despite the duplicates, despite the dogs, you feel like you can handle this.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Say, what are you sorry for? That's amazing. He's still kind of
Indeed.
smiling.
Maybe we should check out that sign. And Phantasma's looking pretty nervous, looking from her to Brick. What is going on? What are you?
I don't know. I don't know.
As some of you get close to where the sign is on the wall, this is what you see. Let me know when you guys can see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see.
It seems to be a very old sign. Nothing printed recently. It's behind a bit of glass. You know, like normally, sometimes you'll see a fire route, you know, in case of emergency, sort of inside glass. This doesn't have that on it, but it's the same sort of thing. And it's a little yellowed and from age.
Phantasma tries to look for a "you are here" sign.
Roll reason. You just can't get your bearings.
If I figure it out of character, can I
Then
point it out?
yeah, it's fine.
D block. She points at the map at D block. That's what our jackets say.
Oh,
We must be here,
That-
and she's gonna kind of point at where it says Times Square.
that makes the most sense, yes. So the exit is that way. She'll kind of point the south direction.
Gas chamber. He kind of points at the dining hall on the map there. And
Oh,
he's like, what kind of place is this?
A bad
Some-
place.
it sounds like it.
I don't know that I want to stick around and find out.
Out of character, can we hear the dog now?
If he chooses to project to all of you, he can.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll specify if I'm just talking to one.
He'll look over towards the dog and kind of shocked look on his face. First time he's heard the dog really clearly, you know, and Bloodhound will be like, "Hey, boy." Smile at him and kind of try to offer his hand to pet him. I don't smell bad, do I? No.
No, you smell much like the rest of this place. Which is not a good smell, but it is not a bad smell. I am not boy, though. I am alpha.
Right. Alpha. Bloodhound will look around to everybody else. So, we all have some kind of special ability, right? And they've locked us up here for some reason.
Oh, wow.
Apparently, I can talk to locks.
Apparently, I just get bigger.
I think mine's kind of obvious at this point. And she kind of looks towards her copies.
Yes. Maybe we should attempt to leave.
Yes, that would be good. We should head out, but I will tell you that when these people, not the scientists, they are control? Not sure what that means, control. Not usual control, that's what called themselves.
Hmm.
But we will have to go this way and kind of point in the direction. Many bodies, so be careful. Also, we'll need keys. Main reason I need help. No thumbs. Need keys.
Oh, I smelled a key, I think.
Upstairs, there seems to be. She looks at the map again. Administration. Clothing.
Apparently I can smell keys.
All right. Hunt for keys then.
Yeah. You can still smell the metallic smell. It gets stronger as you go ahead. You guys pass the Phantasma. Straight ahead of you is what looks like a utility corridor that goes between two separate, cell blocks, one on the left and one on the right here. And that utility corridor is usually covered by a grate. That grate has been ripped open, and you can start to hear disturbing sounds coming from inside that corridor.
Sorry, do you mind pinging where the corridor would start? Oh, there. Oh, okay.
It's what you would assume were, electric cables and plumbing to feed the sound. That's something you know instinctively.
She'll look down, seeing if she can see anything.
As you
Go ahead.
peer down the corridor, you can see that it rises up 4 stories, and there's concrete walls and some catwalks here and there, and some ladders built into the wall for people to be able to access different areas for maintenance. You smell a burnt smell, and you can see that some of the rubber tubing that would normally cover bunches of wires has been burned through, and some looks like it's been burnt from the inside out. And a lot of those are not making any sound at all, but there are a few that just experience some minor scorching that are just making little whimpering sounds.
Is she able to kind of squeeze in here?
Sure.
Yeah, she's gonna look down, squeezing between these. Kind of squints at the cables. Can... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Roll your power.
See if it works.
You don't really feel that whatever is making the sound is able to understand you, but you still get that sense of just a whimpering, hurt animal.
She steps back out, concerned, and covering her face. You guys, you can't hear that. No.
Hear what?
It's these cables. They also seem to be whining, upset, hurt. They're
Heard?
burned. Some of them have gone silent. Some of them still whine. Maybe the lack of electricity is affecting them. Maybe.
Bloodhound, you smell that you need to go straight ahead. That smell trail that you're following seems to be kind of taking you toward Doberman.
Yeah, he'll start immediately walking towards that area. Where is that on the map?
Can you? Okay.
You
Yeah,
found some.
you get close to Doberman 5, and he perks up his ears and looks toward Alpha. But you can tell that the keys are down this hallway somewhere.
He'll kind of look back towards the others, and he's starting to do that finger thing again, brushing his fingers all together in the air and sniffing the air. And I could smell something this way. I think we got to go this way. Pretty sure.
Be careful. There was one non-dog with fire that came from him. Burned many things. Smells burnt. Bad.
Did he go down there? And she'll point towards this area here.
Yes.
Oh, that explains it.
Burn many things and many people.
Do you want me to maybe check it out?
We should not get. Well, I mean, if we can't get separated at this point, I don't know how powerful someone with fire might be.
I mean, there's plenty of me to spare. And she kind of laughs a little and motions to her copies. I think I may be able to explore at least a little bit, cover a little more ground. If there's anything we want to see.
Alright, that makes sense.
We could. The other ones, the ones that escaped, the bad ones, they left with my friend.
Who's your friend?
Well, that is mate.
Oh, okay.
When he says mate, you get more than just the word mate. You know, you get whatever associations Alpha has with mate. You know, respect, partnership, attachment.
Okay, well, we can maybe get you out of here so you can find your mate.
That would be very nice. I would like that, please. Please do. I miss mate. Very much.
Yeah, so let's search around a bit, right?
Yes.
Are we all following Blood?
Phantasmist, at least.
I'm
think
going to switch to a different page if you're all headed down there.
my main copy is, but I want to send my other copies somewhere else.
Beautiful. Where do you want to send them?
I'm going to send one down that corridor just to kind of check that out. And I kind of want to send the other one to, like, back to D block, and maybe go to the left to the library. Or
Okay.
unless I could potentially get to the library through this hallway over here. But I want to try to get her over there to see if I can figure out any extra information or find out what's going on.
Okay. I will whisper you with what your reconnaissance reveals, and I'm going to switch everybody to another page.
Cool.
All right, we all here?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. This cell block is very similar to the one that you were in, except it doesn't face windows, it faces other cells. As you are getting ready to pass down this hallway, you saw stenciled lettering on the outside of the block that said control. And as you are passing down the hallway, you see several cells that look like they had been occupied. They have bunks in them. They have labels, like nameplates overhead. And as you get, I'd like everyone to roll the reason. Actually, no, that's not what it is. Not reason. Intuition as you go by.
Intuition.
Yowza. Okay. So Rogue, you are too. Bloodhound is too busy following this smell, concentrating on that, so he doesn't really notice anything about his immediate surroundings. Ditto. Her attention is a little divided, um, and
Hey,
Alpha is Caliban is having a hard time behaving himself, and he's needing some reassurance. But Phantasma, as you walk by, you immediately notice more of that burn smell, and you head straight to a cell that you assume had been occupied. You see a nameplate above that says Venus. You look in the cell, and on the cot, well, it's really just the remains of a cot. It is incinerated, and there is a charred corpse on the cot. Bloodhound, that is where your smell is leading you.
She'll move over, staring at the cot, place her hands on the bars, and slide down a bit. She brings a hand to her mouth, kind of in shock. Oh, goodness. Oh. Oh. She'll look to the rest. I would stay back. It, mm,
What's
it
in
is
there?
a body. A burned body. Most likely from the one wielding fire.
Bloodhound will walk up there, kind of lean up against the bars and look in there. Well, that's not good, kid.
Despite the smell of the charred body, which is like burnt barbecue, you smell the smell of those keys even stronger. And you can tell they're somewhere under the body.
He's gonna try the bars, the entrance to the cell. Are they open?
Yep, wide open.
Um, he'll slowly walk in and trying not to disturb anything as much as possible and go for the keys and kind of cautiously.
The body kind of crumbles apart at your touch, and you pull back keys in a very black and sooty hand as you had to kind of dig through his remains to get.
And I'll look at the remains on the bed there and on the cot, what's left of it, and tip his hat a little bit. Sorry, pal. And stand up and hold the keys up to everybody so they could see.
Brick kind of stares past him and starts walking towards what he sees as another body laying there. Wonder what got him.
Yeah, there's a body further up the hallway, um, just lying on the ground, wearing some sort of a uniform.
This is what you meant, Alpha.
Yes. Many, many more. One that wielded fire was most dangerous one. Tried to keep Pack away. There is another that can do what I do, but to us. Get inside heads. Took mate. I had to take rest of Pack and leave. Only decision to make.
Understandable.
I wonder how many they killed on their way out.
We
At
should.
least 37.
Oh my goodness.
Jesus.
Let's at least prepare keys. She'll look to Bloodhound. What lock exactly are those for?
Roll your power, Bloodhound. Oh, some nice rolls. You're getting pings all over the place. It's a whole key ring.
Well, I think they unlock doors all over the place, but maybe we'll get lucky, huh? Whichever key we need to. I might have it right here.
Hopefully. She looks down the hallway. Should we check administration first? Maybe they have data.
There's a dead body in the library. Just thought that might be useful information. Another guard.
What does the guard's uniform say?
He has a name tag, and it says N.A.E.A. Bill.
It says his name was Bill. And then before it,
And it says security.
yeah, and it says security. Then it has the same initials that are on our backs.
Interesting.
Very. I'm sure there's a lot more laying around other places.
Phantasma gets back up to her feet, brushing her knees off. Well, there's no use in being too... I don't want to sound cold, but we need to move on.
I agree with you.
Oh, sorry, that was supposed to go to Ditto. So I'm assuming you guys are going to continue to head toward the office block.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna have my
Okay.
copies meet up with us there.
No problem. You can see on the map that most things connect. Your copies pass some stairs down a couple places. And Alpha, I'm just going to have one of your Dobermans following you around here, but he's just representative. They're all there unless you tell them to go away. You head toward the office block. As you get closer, you see a bit of a walkway that is just above head level at the wall that separates the cell blocks from the office block. It's got kind of a half wall with grates. It looks like it's probably a place where guards can kind of patrol and keep an eye on the office block. I mean, on the cell block from a relatively protected location. You also see a door straight ahead, and I'm going to switch. Give me just a second.
Bloodhound will talk to Alpha for a second, ask him, as they're kind of slowly walking down that way cautiously. So, do you know the guy that burned things? Was he wearing one of these? And kind of show his jumpsuit thing.
Yes. All of the ones who tried to escape and did escape were wearing those. They called themselves Control for some reason.
And then he'll look over towards Blondie and say, and when you talk to the wires and the walls, they were sad?
They seem, I think, hurt. I think the thing on fire, I think he hurt them. Maybe that is why not many of the electronics are working. Injured.
All right. Have you guys has your vision moved to the office block setup?
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fog of war anything here because you guys have seen a map, so you know its general layout. Bloodhound, straight ahead of you is a door, and it is a strong looking steel door, but it does have a keyhole in it.
Is that one there you're talking about? Or okay, this one. Bloodhound will pull up the circle of keys and kind of try them out.
You must get pretty lucky because it's the first key you try.
Nice.
You guys see copies of Ditto pass through the solid wall ahead of you all.
That'll take some getting used to.
You're telling me.
Strange.
As that door opens, you can see another secure door ahead. You see a doorway to the right. You see stairs on the left, but it's not really solid stairs. It's kind of the graded kind of stairs, and you can see beyond it. There is a grate you can see through, and there's a little room beyond, a long, narrow room that seems to have cubbies in it and little slits in this wall. So your Ditto is sending her clones to the business office and the warden's office. Okay. So it's taking them a little while to get there because they walk at normal speed. As she's doing that, are you guys going to wait or are you going to move ahead?
Move ahead. Always Phantasma will.
Yeah, I'll be moving in.
Yeah.
This
Is
way.
this
Pack
the
moves.
is this the other place you're looking, Ditto?
Yeah, so the business office is that one, and then Warden's.
All right, so you guys move ahead. You encounter another door right there, and to your right, I mean left, no, it's right, right, Bloodhound, you see a room that looks old. It's got some clutter of old furniture in there, but it doesn't seem to currently be in use. You immediately know which key opens this door.
Bloodhound will look over towards this area here with his cubbies, and kind of mention, "Is there something over there? Something in those cubbies?" And then he'll start like working on this door, as if to kind of get one of the others to maybe look over there or something.
Yeah. Phantasmal. Can she go over this, like, staircase and go over here?
You can look through, but there's a grate you can't actually get through. But you can climb the stairs if that's what you want to do, but you can't actually get to the far room right there from where you are.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not sure how to get there.
I think we're gonna have to go through here.
I think.
And Bloodhound will be moving cautiously and trying to be as quiet as possible and peeking around corners and stuff as he's moving through.
All right, to your right, you see a room, and you roll a
Intuition?
yes. Also, you Phantasma.
Oh.
And Alpha.
Intuition, you said?
Yep. Okay. Phantasma, you catch a glimpse of what looks like a leg inside this room that you're passing.
Oh, not again. She'll maneuver into that room. Someone
All right,
else.
you walk in and you do see some bodies, and you also see that this room does seem to be one that's currently in use. And I'm going to switch over to that screen so you guys can get a look at what that room really looks like. You see Ditto already in there.
I think the warden's dead too. You hear her say.
Most likely all of the staff, it seems, are deceased. Maybe this control group definitely trapped here, same as us. But maybe they were attempting to control them.
Possible.
Oh, sorry, wrong room. That is not where you are. You'll see that later. Ditto's already seen that. Oh, there we are. Too many pages. Man, what weird music do I have going in? I'm changing that. That was a mistake.
By golly, it's a Cyclops.
Speaking of music, you guys can't actually hear music anymore. It's now that you're, to some of you it occurs to some of you that it stopped.
Awfully quiet.
Yes, concerning. She'll start looking around the room. seeing if there's any documentation.
Okay, so as you walk around this room, the thing that stands out first are the bodies. One looks like has a hole in its head. The other looks like it's been burned very, very badly. They're both wearing uniforms. They both have name tags. John and Randy. Apparently, they work for the N.A.E.A. One says communications officer, the other says security. A lot of the equipment in this room looks to you strangely dated, low tech. Phantasma, hear a faint buzz, um, but not a lot. The whole room feels kind of dead to you. The phone on the wall, the cord is, you see some sparks coming out from behind it. There's a radio and a microphone. There's some little mail cubbies against the wall. And there do seem to be some slips of paper in there. There's some other paperwork that looks a bit scorched.
Just start going through the papers in the cubbies, seeing if there's anything of interest.
You find a lot of mundane looking things like memos. There's one that says, don't forget the staff meeting on Tuesday. There's a piece of paper in a cubby for Randy that says overtime is approved. And roll a reason check.
Nope.
Okay. Now here's a new game mechanic. Sometimes when you feel that you are really close to accomplishing something, you all have access to a pool of willpower that allows you to push into a success. That's the karma mechanic. Each person right now starts with a certain amount of karma. And if you sense that you're close to a success, then you can choose to spend karma points in the amount that it would take you to get to the next level to make it a success. For instance, if you wanted to spend it here, you would get this niggling feeling that there's something that you're missing, something important about the papers, but you can't quite grasp it. And then you could spend those karma points for a burst of inspiration.
I think I have 20, it looks like.
Right.
So I'm going to spend 4 of those. It's equal to, right?
Yes. So just
Okay.
that's something on your character token in the blue, so you just subtract it from.
Oh, so 52?
Yep.
Oh, man.
So she was like 4% away from a success. You can spend the 4 points.
Yep, you spend the 4 points
Gotcha.
and lower your total.
Yep. I've done that. Pushing herself, trying to figure out what exactly she's missing, scrutinizing the paper further.
Phantasma narrows her focus and scans the paper again. There's something about this paper. And finally, her eyes are drawn to the upper right corner with the date that the memo was sent. And she stares at the date. And something about the date seems important.
What does the date read?
The date reads May 6th, 2015. 49.
2049.
I'm sorry.
Makes-
It says 2039.
No. 2039. May 6th. Does that resonate with anyone else?
2039.
That feels very, very wrong to you.
That doesn't feel right.
No.
All of you get the sense that that date can't be.
She looks around the room. This all looks wrong. Dead. Low tech.
Oh. Bad feeling.
Yes.
Everybody can roll an intuition. Except Alpha wouldn't probably know this.
Works out because I have no clue what's going on anyway.
Time is not something that like you concern yourself with, as you've already established.
True.
Beneath you.
Meaningless. Okay, so Rogue, yes. Brick, yes. Phantasma, yes. So everybody except Ditto, who still seems to have her attention somewhat divided. You think that that date seems to be too far in the future, somewhere between 10 and 20 years too far in the future, depending on the individual. And that's going to be up for you to decide what year you think it is.
Bloodhound will come in and is there a computer in here at all or anything like that?
No, and that strikes you as very odd. This place seems just so low tech.
And all of the electrical stuff has kind of been trashed.
Most of it has. What did you get? Okay. You do see a scorched employee's handbook. Oh, Brick, Phantasma found a memo, and on the memo there's a date, and it's 2039, and that feels wrong by 10 to 20 years. And that's really going to depend on what you decide what year feels like the present to you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, you see a scorched but somewhat intact employee's handbook. Blood.
It might not be the correct year, but I do think that it is the year that we are currently in, regardless. Though this technology is out of date for 2039, should be higher, I feel.
Do the can I check the bodies and kind of do any forensic type things and check maybe if they have wallets with driver's license on them or something?
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, they both have wallets, and they have identification in their wallets with their full name on it, which
Date of
doesn't
birth.
strike you as familiar. And the one that looks like he's in his mid 30s. They both probably look like they're somewhere in their mid 30s. Their date of birth is 2005.
And Bloodhound will kind of like pull the ID out and show it to everybody.
And the other one has a similar one.
Look at the date of birth on there. You know.
Yes, I feel like it should be later year, but
The other thing that strikes you as different is that this is not a state driver's license. It says N.A.E.A universal identification.
What in the world?
maybe it's some sort of united government.
Can we see outside from this room? Outside the
Yes,
compound?
there are windows to the outside. They were covered by some blinds, but there's light coming through and it seems brighter than before.
I want to peek out there too and see what it looks like outside.
You look outside, you can tell that you're on a high hill. As you look down, you see that the exterior of this building is thick concrete. There's overgrown grasses and cracked pavement. To the back of the building, you see a walled area. That might be the recreation area that was marked on the map. Below you, you see some other buildings. They look kind of in disrepair. And then below them, you see kind of cliffs and a rocky shore and an ocean. And out beyond that, you see land in the far distance and maybe a small island shrouded in fog at a different angle, kind of at a right angle.
The sign back there said Alcatraz. So, does that ring a bell to anybody?
It does sound familiar to all of you.
Oh,
Yes, but nothing concrete.
Yeah, I feel like I should know it.
Brick, that employee's manual catches your eye.
Yeah, Brick will go over and pick it up and look at it.
It's got one of those cheap vinyl covers and cheap bindings that you can tell it's kind of mass produced. And it says North American Eugenic Authority Employee Manual.
Eugenic Authority. Gonna show it to the others and kind of open it up.
A lot of the pages are scorched beyond recognition. Some of the pages that are left are just very mundane policies on taking sick days, what the paid holidays are, and how many mental health days you can take, uniform codes, dress codes, um, you know, penalties for frequent tardiness, etc. You do get to a page that looks more interesting. And part of it's illegible now, but it starts with protocols for communication with volunteers, and then it's numbered. Number 1, each volunteer has been assigned an identifying alias. Employees with access to secure data are never to refer to volunteer by name. The alias is to be used at all times, and that's in capitals. This is critical, and a violation of Protocol 1 is grounds for dismissal at all stages, A through D. 2. Communicating information about current events, dates, family members, recent history with volunteers are all grounds for dismissal. 3. Never offer personal information beyond first names to volunteers. Be courteous, but not friendly. Volunteers are not your friends. 4. Report to management any suspicious conversation or behavior immediately following the incident. Nothing out of the expected, no matter how small, should be dismissed or over, and that's kind of where it gets cut off by chart marks.
Volunteers.
Was Brick reading that out loud?
He's been reading. And he'll read it and, guys, this is very odd. And he'll pass the book.
Are we volunteers?
I have a feeling that it is what they are referring to. I think volunteers mean prisoners.
So we would volunteer to be locked in here.
I do not think we volunteered for any of this based on the state of the cells. I think it is just a kind way saying prisoners, basically.
So, Bloodhound's like flipping through the pages, trying to read the page as well, and he says, "The different stages. Look at this. Different
And
stages."
it says A through D, and I'm going to make sure that you guys have this as a handout in the future to refer.
He says, "I'm sorry. Go ahead."
No, go ahead.
He says there's different stages. So we were maybe stage D, or is that just the name of the cell block we're in, or maybe it's both?
Maybe. Stage D. If there's C control, maybe we are development. If you think about manifestation of, well, how you got bigger, how you somehow develop this reflexive ability to clone yourself.
So this whole place is some kind of research facility, right? And they lock us in here, and so maybe some of the prisoners get a little pissed off about this and create some kind of a way to bust out of here, fry the circuits, right? That's why they're all upset. He starts wiggling his fingers again, walking around in a circle. And then when they do that, we wake up. But because of that, and they escape. So we're on this island stuck on Alcatraz in North America. I don't get the date though. I don't know what's going on with the date.
Do any of you remember any time before today?
No.
Not at all.
That is like the others, like you.
No memories.
Many days. Well, Alpha can remember quite a few days. But other humans, non dogs, they did not. They did not recognize Alpha, did not remember him.
Remember, they interacted with you before.
Not often, but sometimes. And they did not remember me. They seemed stupid.
Hmm. Definitely some sort of memory loss. Kind of a widespread.
Yes, many stupid.
Yes.
Well, who knows what they did to us? What we volunteered for.
I still don't think it's volunteering. I don't think it was. It's a detaining. Testing.
Alpha did not volunteer. Seems like others did not either.
No. We were brought here against our will. Detained, controlled.
Oh. Probably explained the headaches when I woke up.
Maybe the whole model citizen sign.
Well, not
Train.
detained anymore, not under control anymore. Should leave.
Yes. I think we should, though I'm still curious to see if there's any information about who we are. I'd like to know. I do not feel comfortable with this name. It is not mine. I do not think. I don't recognize it.
Do you want to try to track down some personnel files?
Yes.
There's gotta be some records around.
Secretary office, the warden's office.
There's
Most
nothing in the
likely.
secretary's office. The warden's office, there may be some stuff.
Alright.
There's also a hospital room back in the cell block with a dead doctor, and inside the armory there are still a bunch of weapons if we want to try to break in and grab something.
Might not be a bad idea with dealing with someone who can wield fire. Though I am not. Don't think I am partial to weaponry.
Bloodhound looks up when she mentions weapons. And
All right, roll your power, Bloodhound.
Fireman is gone, by the way. Or fire human.
All right, that's a yellow success. You know that there are a lot of weapons really close. And you know the direction. Like, you can walk straight.
weapons this way when he stands up.
Alright, we'll follow your nose then.
All right. You guys leave the room. You pass through some empty rooms. A lot of them look like they haven't been really used in a long time. You eventually get to a door that looks like high grade steel. The outside of the door is dented. It's got scorch marks on it, but it's intact. And you know that the armory is behind it, both from the map and because you can just smell that gun oil up ahead. There is a lock on this door.
But I don't know. Sift through the keys.
Within 80, you are right on target. You know exactly which key fits this lock. Only one feels right in your hand, and you unlock it and reveal a little room that has another room behind it. This one also has a lock, but this door looks like it does not have a keyhole. It looks like maybe it was opened electronically with a fingerprint, sensor that's on the wall.
Bloodhound will look back at Ditto and be like, well, unless we want to bring one of the guy's hands over here, maybe you think you could pass through the wall and maybe unlock the other side? Or?
I can't.
No?
I can only see things with my other forms. I can't touch anything.
Maybe
This
Phantasm can talk to it.
Yeah, is it buzzing?
Why don't you roll 1d100? Okay. This hallway has been really dim because the blue lights weren't on, the regular lights weren't on in its interior. So not a lot of light from the outside gets in either. But you were following Bloodhound, so nobody, and there wasn't really anything to trip over. So, you weren't having too much of a problem. But as you're walking, examining this interior door, some of those emergency lights flicker back on. And the handprint sensor lights up with a green light and, red striations of light kind of flickering all around the pad. And you can sense that it is alive and awake.
She'll go up to it. Not touching the fingerprint part, but just kind of the sides. Hello.
Okay, go ahead and roll your power. Awesome. That's a yellow success.
Yeah.
You hear a voice, or maybe it's just how your brain is interpreting it, but it sounds like the voice of a child. And it speaks back to you. Hello, hello. Who are you? Do I know you? I can only let you in if I know you.
Oh. She'll smile a bit. I am sure you know me. Though if you don't remember that, that is okay. I know you.
I always remember who I know, but yes, I know you. I know you. And I will let you in. Do you want to get...
Yes, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. And the door slides open.
She'll look back to the others and smile. This one talked.
Nice job. That was interesting.
Yes. Maybe it is electronics then.
All right, I'm going to move you guys over to the armory now. The treasure trove.
Is there a magic gun? Can I have a magic gun?
I don't know about a magic gun, but there's lots of... Y'all can see now.
Holy smokes.
As the door to the armory slides open, you see lockers and lockers of weapons. Some you recognize, some just look really big and dangerous. There's sacks holding who knows what. You can see boxes and boxes of ammunition. Some things don't even appear to be weapons. Some look like bricks of military grade food ration.
Bloodhound starts smiling and as he's walking through and kind of giggling like a chubby kid in a candy store. Look at all this stuff. All right, this is what I'm talking about.
My goodness, it is full of. Wow. She'll kind of start looking around the room. I wonder if there are alternate clothes.
That is a good idea. You'll start looking for any type of uniform as well.
Looking around, you do find some. Some of them look kind of military, um, camouflage print. Some of them look more plain. All of them seem to be uniform esque. You can kind of mix and match with, an olive colored shirt and a blue pair of slacks, but you're not going to find anything as ordinary as jeans and a t shirt.
These will do.
Yeah, much better than this jumpsuit.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna change.
After a few minutes of scrambling, everybody can find something that's their size, and you guys can decide what it looks like approximately.
Bloodhound will go right for that locker that he kind of sniffs out.
You open a locker, and inside you see what looks like a first aid kit and various bottles. Alpha, you do see lots of small backpacks and packs of various sizes all over the room. You can see that there's a couple on that chest.
So after everyone's had their time changing and starting to find other things as far as like weapons or whatever, um, Alpha would kind of sniff some of the packs and humans. I believe I could carry, as well as some of my pack, some of these storage containers on our backs. As we do not use weaponry.
Sure, I will assist in equipping you.
Thank you. But not Caliban. Caliban would not like it.
Of course. And
Caliban gives you a look to confirm that.
and Phantasma will start kind of packing up backpacks full of different foods, maybe some med packs. Not making them too heavy, but
Yeah, please not
water,
too
that kind of
heavy.
thing. Of course. And kind of start fitting the dogs with little backpacks. She's probably gonna pet them as well if they're receptive.
Um, they're as receptive as Alpha wants them to be. um, the Dobermans, they really can carry maybe a fanny pack around the neck, not a whole lot more. Alpha can carry a larger pack and basically a human amount of goods.
Alright. She finishes fitting the dogs and packing Alpha full of as much as he can carry. Is this acceptable?
And Alpha would get up and kind of pace around a bit. You did an adequate job of packing. This will be fine.
Thank you. And she'll start packing up a backpack, mostly full of rations herself, and probably grabbing a small firearm.
As you spend a lot of time in this room, sorting, searching, wishing that you were able to carry more than you can, You notice Ditto's eyes roll back in her head every once in a while. And you continue to receive reports from your clones as this goes on. And building 64 appears to be primarily empty, Ditto. And
Okay.
you have gone down to the basement, sent one of your clones down to the basement, and they reach it by the time you guys are finishing up here. And one of your clones finds it's mostly empty, horrible, scary looking cells down there. You shudder to think that anyone would have been kept there at any time. But some of the rooms have doors with locks. And as you send your clone in through some of those doors with locks, you see that they're filled with these stacked containers. The only thing that you could compare it to would be coffins. They look like very high-tech coffins. You see that a lot of them are labeled with names.
Oh. Are they like real names or are they nicknames like Ditto and Alpha?
These
And
look like real names.
can she peek her head inside one? Is it a body or is it something else?
They appear to be empty.
Huh. You hear Ditto say that and just look kind of confused.
Roll the D100 roll button. Okay. And you conclude from this whatever you conclude from this.
Down in the basement there are boxes with names on them. I don't know, they look really weird. And they seem to be empty.
Strange.
What kind of boxes? Like,
They look almost like coffins, but there's something a bit different about them. They look pretty advanced.
Advanced.
Like, you mean like technologically advanced kind of boxes, right, Slip? Is that what you mean by futuristic?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
almost like a,
Actually, you know what? I've got a picture I'm going to show you.
Okay.
And you're going to describe it so well that everybody can imagine what it is.
Beautiful. I'm about it.
Oh my.
Can you all see that?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I described that really, really well.
So cool.
They're white and there's a bunch of buttons on the front. They're magnetically locked. They look medical in a lot of ways.
Are they on?
Are they on?
They did not appear to be.
They don't seem to be on.
And they have normal names on them, not like code names.
Yeah. Maybe there are boxes down there with our names.
Yeah. Maybe one time they held us.
Maybe.
Strange.
But no files down there? Nothing that go along with them?
I haven't seen any files, right?
No.
I haven't seen any files, but I'm searching the rest of the island too. I'm gonna see if I can find something. There are some ruined buildings. I'm not sure what I'll be able to gather, but I'm trying.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And Rick's gonna look around. I think we got all we could carry here. Should we continue?
Warden's office.
Yep. Brick, as you've been walking around and spending time in this room, you don't notice because it's very gradual, but it occurs to you that you're moving more freely. You don't feel as heavy.
Oh wow. He's gonna look at himself.
Kind of look like you did as you first were coming out of your cell.
It takes a little time to come back to normal, I guess. I don't feel as sluggish and heavy now.
That is good.
Yeah.
Well, let us continue.
Bloodhound is gonna start heading towards the warden's office.
Follow.
All right. I'm going to move you all over there. You arrive at the door to the warden's office, and it is also a very heavy steel door, and it appears to be sealed from the inside, and there is no keyhole.
And Rick will look over at Ditto. Did you see what's behind this door? Is there something?
Catherine McDonald, the warden. She was shot and burned.
Is there nothing blocking this door?
It was locked, right?
Well, you
Blood-
couldn't tell, but it is locked. Phantasma, I want you to roll just a 1 through 100. Okay. You look around, and at some point when you guys were in the armory, the blue lights flickered and went out. You can see a hand scanner on the wall, but it is not currently active. To you, it sounds dead or sleeping.
Oh. Maybe. What kind of door? It's a steel door, right?
It is a steel door with a place. It doesn't really have a handle. It's got an indentation built into the door where you could kind of stick your fingers in and slide it. But other than that, it's a perfectly smooth surface.
And Tessa will look over to Brick. I cannot open it unless we find maybe where the electricity is. Maybe if you can try.
Uh-huh. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Roll your power.
Rick's gonna stand back. He's
And Phantasma will stand pretty far back as well.
I'm gonna try to kick it in.
Okay. Do you want to push it? You are 2 points away from a green save.
Yeah, well, that just used the karma, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it, kid. Just use your legs.
All right. You kick the door and you feel it give a little bit. A couple more kicks and it just kind of falls, boom, right into the next room. Looking at yourself, you can see that once again, your veins are popping out of your arms. Your arms and legs look thicker. Maybe not as thick as before, but still you feel both stronger and heavier. And another thing you guys notice as he's kicking on this door is that it was already kind of dented and it again had scorch marks. As a matter of fact, the panel next to it looks a little scorched too.
Well, he definitely came through here. Maybe he used some sort of... If he's pulled apart those grates before, maybe that's how he was getting through. I think.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh my.
As you guys enter the office, the first thing you see is the slumped form of a woman wearing a white lab coat over a desk. The desk has an old-fashioned telephone, a typewriter with a blank piece of paper in it. Against the far wall, there is a telephone, an intercom, and some other box, an electronic box of some kind. The woman appears to have been both burned in the face and the neck and over her torso, and shot in the chest.
Bloodhound will bend down next to her body and be like, somebody did not like her.
Oh. She was the one in charge of keeping us here. I can see why.
Oh, maybe she has some files around here.
Yeah. Split up and look for them.
Yeah, break a thumb through some things.
You spot a small machine on the far side of the desk. It is the highest tech looking machine in the room. It smells faintly of burned oil and feels warm to the touch. It has, if you took a potbelly stove and made it sleek and tall and nice looking, then that's sort of what this resembles. Inside the desk drawers, there are scatters of post-it notes, but no paper.
The world.
Bloodhound tries sniffing out for any files, any like paper, stuff like that. Look under the desk.
You look under the desk and you don't see anything until you turn your head toward the top of the desk. And there you see a USB drive stuck with a piece of gum, a piece of chewed gum.
What's this? I'll pull it off. What do you make of that?
Phantasma. You hear a whispering coming from that USB drive. You also hear the faintest of whisperings coming from the far side of the room.
She's gonna go to the USB drive first. Hi. There.
The whispering gets louder the closer you get, but you can't quite make it out in Bloodhound's hand.
Do you mind if I hold it?
He Bloodhound's kind of surprised for a minute. He thought she was walking up and saying hi to him, and then he's like, looks at the thing in his hand and then hands it to her without saying anything at all.
Oh, I'm sorry. And she'll take the USB key. Look down at it. Can you hear me?
Go ahead and roll your power. This has a blinking green light on it and a digital display, and it seems to have a place where a fingerprint would be put. Oh, great. Okay. This USB drive speaks to you in a voice that seems maybe slightly more mature than the handprint sensor. Are you authorized to access?
She's gonna, before responding, kind of look down at the warden. How are her hands looking?
They're okay.
She's going to say yes before leaning down, taking the warden's finger and placing it.
There's a small beep. Other people might hear it. It's definitely louder in your head. And identity confirmed. Dr. Catherine McDonald. Access granted. And then you hear a voice, a different voice, a woman's voice, coming from a place inside this thumb drive. And as you delve deeper into it and you get closer, it's like you're opening a door. And once you open that door, you can hear that voice clearly. And this is what you hear. This is Dr. McDonald of the NAEA. There's some heavy breathing. Control group has overrun the facility. I'm not sure who is still alive. Phantasma, Bloodhound. I'm counting of one of you to have made it here to find this drive. Fuck this experiment. A member of Control, he has the expertise to deactivate your behavior modification implants. His memory must be returned. I think he's a good man. He should never have been placed in the volunteer program. Shit, this hurts. However, it is imperative that other members of Control remain in that amnesiac state. Recall of prior events in history could further incite them to violence. Locate the boogeyman. Do not attempt to deactivate the implants yourself. It will most likely result in cascading failure of autonomic systems. Caspar, Zagnut, Farflung, Methodology, Prorate, Mellifluous. And as you listen to that, your brain you feel a flood of thoughts and imagery, a lot of them hazy, some of them just smells coming to you. They feel familiar and unfamiliar at once. You don't quite know what to make of it, but it takes a minute just to sort yourself back out to the present, to see the room around you again.
Tasma's holding her head at this point, massaging it slightly. Oh, jeez. Apparently, There's a voice, a woman, Catherine. She expected us to find her bloodhound. At least she hoped we would. Apparently we need to locate one of the control, the boogeyman. Need to restore his memories. I think the sequence of words she gave is the key to it. We all carry some sort of implants. I think, yes. I think it inhibits our memories.
Does the sequence unlock our memories too?
No, I got information. She says to not do it ourselves, as there would be cascading failures. Something. We must locate this boogeyman and not reactivate his memories. Apparently, I think there was behavior that was ingrained into certain members of control. He's apparently a good man, the rest, unfortunately not. But once we help him find his way, I think he can help us find ours.
I want you to roll power again. And also your reason.
Oh
my gosh.
I'm gonna.
Wow, those are some good rolls.
And reason. I'm gonna spend. Can I spend one karma and make it 95?
You sure can.
Oh, that should have been -4, minus, and then -1. Yeah.
At the mention of implants, you instinctively cast your internal ears, those ears that hear the whispering, out into the room. And besides hearing that other faint sound in the corner, you catch the faintest sound coming from every person in this room except for Alpha and the dogs. And with the reason roll, the more you let yourself sort it out, the more you make a connection with the last phrase and that cascade of memories that came back to you. They're starting to sort themselves out into things that make a little more sense, although for things that are your memories, they seem a little disconnected.
She looks to each one of them. I can hear the implants, I think. In the three of you.
Can you do your thing? Can you talk to them?
I am worried about what she said. I do not know if I should be messing with that type of thing. I do not want to break.
Are you kidding me, Phantasma?
With your roll of 95, I'm sorry, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about these things because that's a red success. You can tell that these devices themselves are set to do very specific tasks. You don't know enough about biology to know exactly what parts of the brain they're affecting, but you know they're in the head, somewhere in the base of the brain, near the back of the head. You know that there are three components. It seems to be doing three different things at the same time. You can tell that you could easily shut this off with your just by speaking to these devices in your current state. But you don't know what that would do. You can't tell. You can't tell exactly the effect that these things are going to have, or if they are affected by anything auditory. I mean, you can't see how they could be able to detect anything from inside the brain. They actually seem to be alert and paying attention to any incoming signals from all around them. Mostly right now, what you would say is they are listening closely.
To continue, are you fucking kidding me, Phantasma? We've been in this fucking prison for who knows how long. We don't remember anything. We don't remember who we are. And you trust these people? You trust what they're saying? Hey, don't turn off the thing that won't let you remember who you are. Like, it's not a big deal.
Are you sure you want to know who you are? I mean, we're here for a reason.
I'm pretty fucking sure I want to know who I am. And what the fuck is going on.
The warden was not a bad lady. She would not lie.
Phantasma looks nervous. I.
If you know so much, Alpha, why don't you fucking say anything? What's going on here? Who are we? Why are we here? If you were so close to the warden.
I do not know. I was still experimented on. Still had things done, needles poked in. But they thought an animal easier to control, I guess. But I know I did not see her many times, but she was nicer than others. They liked being mean. She did not. Had some smell of trust. Just did what she had to do. Never wrong about it. Never mean. Others, not so much.
If you maybe give me a few moments, I can. I could shut it off. Whatever it does. I just don't know how it will affect you.
I don't care. If you're so fucking worried about it, I'll be the little test subject. If something goes wrong, you know not to do it to the others, right?
Yeah. Alright. And she'll pull out a chair. AB, you need to sit.
She'll kind of sit down quickly. Just get it over with.
Alright. Phantasmal maneuver behind Ditto, placing her hands on her shoulder. Let's see. What were the words, again? That were mentioned?
Here, I'm trying to make it show up again.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, Ditto, you are still feeling confident for some reason. Is that not showing up for you? Well, let me just edit it and make it visible to everybody, I guess. Now it should be in your handbook.
Oh, good. We will try this first. Caspar, Bagnut, Barflung, methodology, prorate, mellifluous. Does that do anything for you?
As she said these words out loud, all of you are hit by a wave of death. You're all memories, a waterfall of memories, a overwhelming sensation of pictures, names, words, dates, sounds, smells. And it takes you all a while to process this, longer than Phantasma, actually. Some of you are so stunned that when you come to, you're sitting on the ground. I'm sorry, I'm having a problem with my screen.
And Phantasma didn't experience that, correct?
A very mild version, whereas it took you maybe like 20 seconds, 30 seconds to recover. You're concerned looking at these guys because they kind of go blank for about 5 minutes.
When they kind of wake up, she's kind of hovering over, probably over Brick at this point. She's been kind of moving between them, tapping faces and looking worried. Alpha would see that she's panicked at this point.
Alpha, these words mean nothing to you. They're ridiculous and meaningless.
You say strange things. Question machines.
After a while, you can see everyone start to come to. Ditto. Your clones, they're gone. You can't see through their eyes anymore. Brick, you're kind of returned to your base state. Bloodhound, you're not smelling anything currently, but you know your names. Brick, you know your name is Amos. You know your name is Mia. Ditto. And Bloodhound, you know your name is Joe Miller. You all know your last names too. You can make those up and decide what your last names are.
What?
Phantasma, as your memories start to settle in, a name kind of floats to the surface, and it's Anaya. And while it feels familiar, it also feels off.
Are you? Oh, all right. I apologize. I did not know it would do that.
Oh. God, that was uncomfortable.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to stop taking amphetamines. Bloodhound will rub his head and put his hat back on. Actually, lift his hat back off and look for another piece of medicine to pop in his mouth.
You pop in the medicine, and this time, as you do it, you remember countless other times, countless other pills, powders that you have taken. You remember the name of your dealer. You remember the name of your friends, your family. You remember the name of the street you lived on. You remember the thing that got you into trouble, that got you sent to prison. And then you remember this. The things in between are still gone. The prison that you were sent to is not this prison. Similarly, little things for all of you just start triggering associations. Amos, you remember that for a time you worked as an auto mechanic. You know that you've always had a knack for putting things together and taking them apart. You remember a rector set you had when you were a little kid and how fascinated you were with it. Remember what your mother looked like. Remember that your father smoked and the smell of that. You remember getting into trouble a lot when you were a teenager, and you remember being surrounded by a group of older kids, and you remember fighting them, and you remember coming out bloodied but victorious. Mia, you, as the room is spinning around you and comes to a stop, and you smell that smell of burnt oil coming from the incinerator by the desk, you remember another smell of burnt oil. You feel the sense of fast acceleration. You see images whipping around you. You see people in a stand cheering and other fast-moving vehicles moving alongside you. You feel that thrill of exhilaration as you pass one and another. Phantasma, your memories are just still so muddled and unclear compared to what everybody else is experiencing. Anyway, you can tell that it's going to take quite a while for things to sort themselves out completely. But while it's disorienting, it probably feels good to have a little piece of yourself.
You can just hear Mia whispering as she's sitting in this chair, her face resting on one of her hands. Thank you.
Do you remember your name?
My name's Mia.
Mine is Anaya, though it still all feels wrong.
We'll get you there. What about you two?
Oh. It's all coming back. My name's Amos.
Miller. I can't smell anything right now, though.
feel big.
I don't feel those copies anymore, but honestly, I prefer remembering who I am over having that.
Yeah, yeah, I remember. I remember everything. I remember going to prison,
When he
but
says that, Brick, you and Mia also both remember a courtroom, shackles, an orange uniform, ending up in a prison. But it's not this prison.
yeah, I remember prison. Not here though.
Yeah, me
blood
too.
Bloodhound will all of a sudden bring his face out of his hands and kind of like Ezra, like he remembered something. And where's that? Where's that? Where's that computer chip thing?
In my hands.
Oh,
Phantasma's gonna still look very confused. I don't remember. I only have a name. That's it.
you can't talk to it, that thing anymore, can you?
Uh,
Like,
she'll
you
try.
can.
I can. Do you want me to ask it something?
Felt like there was something else we needed on that.
I can continue to search, see if there is anything else.
Perhaps we should get away from here before doing that.
Yes. There's one more thing. I failed to kind of get up and move over towards where that other buzzing was. The corner of the room.
You see a small device, and it seems to be humming to itself, but very, very quietly. It's got a green light flickering, um, and uh, you still in such high sensitivity mode that you can tell it's recharging. But it's a device that's holding music.
Oh. She'll pick it up. Are you awake?
It makes a very sleepy sound. Sleeping, so tired.
Can you just wake up for just a moment?
Struggles to wake up. Do you want to play? What do you want me to play?
Um,
The wake up playlist?
yes, the wake up playlist.
You hear music in your mind, and you see a list of musical tracks with names. And you recognize the music playing from the first few songs as what was playing down in your cell block.
Oh. Oh. She's gonna. She'll ask, what other playlist do you contain?
Just favorites, driving, sunny day, sad. Not done with wake up playlist, but so tired.
All right. Sleep.
It had been plugged into something similar to a USB port on this machine.
And she'll put it down. Look over the others. I think these things in our, well, at least your heads. Music triggered the awakening.
Oh,
Yes. It's programmed, most likely.
so we were woken up on purpose.
Yes. I think too, once control figured out escape, I have a feeling this was played by Catherine.
Yeah. And
We.
Maybe,
Go ahead.
maybe some last-ditch chance to save herself. Hoping we would get to her in time or something, huh?
I. Maybe. Maybe to stop these. Control.
Well, we've got some booze. I got some guns. I'm ready to go try to stop him.
wow, but I wonder why your memory didn't return.
I don't know. Maybe it's phrases, words. Seems once they are spoken, they trigger memories. Maybe proper keywords have not been heard by me. The more I think we speak, the more we experience. As these things, our heads seem to be listening, waiting for input. Hmm. Yes, I think this is how we remember.
There is a door to the outside, not showing on this screen, but it's obvious to everyone. And ditto, you had seen this on your initial scouting expedition into this room. Now that everyone is thinking more clearly, it's something that you all focus on. There is a way out right there, if the map is correct.
This door, it will take us to a wharf. There are boats there. You will need to row them.
Yes, as you have no thumbs.
Correct.
Well, we have what we need. Let us finally leave this place.
Yes. Let's go find them.
Find the boogeyman.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
You guys shoulder your supplies. You open the door, which only locks from this side. And you head out into the bright sunlight. From the warden's door, you can look out over the cliff onto more buildings. So many buildings, but most of them look like they haven't been used in a very long time. Far below, you see a wharf with a couple of boats barely visible at this height. There's a path leading down to it. You all walk thoughtfully down the path and you reach the wharf. And I'll switch there and we'll have our closing scene.
As they're walking, she'll look to the others. What have you remembered?
Mia looks at Phantasma. I was a driver of some kind. Raced people a lot, I think. But something happened. I landed in prison. I don't remember what I did. And I
Yeah.
definitely don't remember being transferred or volunteering for this place.
That's blacking out the same thing for me. I remember the courtroom in the old prison. Nothing about here, nothing about what I did.
Do we remember what prison we were sent to?
Yes. Once you concentrate on it for a moment, you can sort out the details. It's very unlikely that any of you were at the same penitentiary.
Okay. Yeah,
And
that's what I
obviously
was
you would have
curious
been at a
about.
women's penitentiary. But they were all American.
Okay.
Do we remember what we did for work or anything like?
It's starting to come back to you, and that's something I'm going to let you guys fill in for next time.
Cool.
Get, to decide what crime you committed. And it has to be a bad one. And, who you are. What's your background? You'll get to pick out 3 talents and a few other details mechanically, but we'll go ahead and finish up the scene before we talk about that. You see down at the dock as you reach there's just 2 rowboats. Alpha, you know that Control took the big mechanical boat, the one with the loud motor. Each of these rowboats looks like it would probably hold 4 people and 1 dog. It's up to you to decide what you want to do. In the distance, through the fog, from this side of the island, you see a city. Looks like it might be about a mile away. It's all very dead and lifeless looking from here, but that just could be the fog that seems to permeate the area. You see 2 big bridges as well, stretching out from the island. One of them is intact, and the other one looks broken.
Maybe the city.
That'd be a good start.
Got nowhere else to go right now.
Hopefully we can find more people.
Or at least more trail to follow.
We can go 2 in one boat, 2 in the other. Try and get many dogs.
That would be nice. If there are some of you that wish to make a return trip to get the rest, it would be much appreciated.
We'll
Yeah.
see what we can do.
The dogs whine as you approach the boats, and it takes a little bit of prompting, Alpha, for you to get them to load up. Caliban especially doesn't seem to like it. You divide into the boats, 2 rowers to the boat. Is there anything else you want to do before you leave the island?
Before my copies disappeared, they didn't see anything else, right?
Nothing that I didn't mention. For such a huge facility and enormous island with so many buildings, it all seemed fairly vacant, unused, and in disrepair.
Yeah.
I I have a feeling why the building was so low tech.
Why?
If I have the ability to communicate with electronics, it would be highly bad idea to have any nearby. No.
That's true.
I
Maybe there's more like us too.
Yes. I don't know the extent of my abilities. But maybe there are others. I I wonder what will happen with the rest.
What did you end up doing with that basically MP3 player that was in the office? Did you put it back? Did you take it with?
She took it with. Heck
Okay.
yeah. This might come in handy. She'll play the I guess sunny playlist or something.
You're the only one that hears it, but this song starts playing. As your boat leaves the shore, well, boats, leaving Alcatraz behind, you wonder if there's more there to find, more that could help you sort out what is going on. You wonder about the fate of the sleepers. Ahead, somewhat shrouded in fog, is San Francisco, looking strange and still. As your memories come back, you recognize the Golden Gate Bridge, and on it you spy a jumble of structures near the city end. The other main bridge, you can't recall the name, appears to have been destroyed. Now, with little more than the clothes on your back, you're venturing into the unknown. And your only friends in this world are virtual strangers. Still, under the certainty lurks a kind of excitement. Whatever was done to you has resulted in strange powers, and you have the feeling that you have only yet begun to realize their full potential. And that's where we're going to stop this week.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nice.